Yingi. I'm recording this at 1:14 a.m. on my computer because it just was gonna be easier on my computer because I went back to my Twitter to find some of the tweets during the time of BTS's enlistment announcement and whatever, so that I could share them with you. And I just had a lot of stuff on my phone that I wanted to share with you, so I just kind of felt like it would be in some videos and things, and I was like starting to email them, but it was just a lot of work. So I'm hoping that this will work on my computer. That would just be like really, really annoying if it doesn't, because this video will probably be like really long, and so I'd have to redo it. And then like have to do all the work of sending the things, so hopefully this works. Yeah, Kai's been out of town, so she's not here right now. So yeah. But it was just really important to me to just kind of like, even though you're not here, to kind of show you like a lot of the things that were going on, I guess, so that it would just be like basically as if you were there like on Army Twitter and like with me, like, and just like so you could kind of know what everyone was like feeling and thinking, like as if you were there. So I was pretty thorough with like the things I wanted to show you, and some of them are also like inside jokes, so I was gonna like explain some of those too, but yeah. And so it's funny because like the thing how you were just like, there's just so much to explain, like I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start. I'm also tired, so that's like funny, but I'm wearing the shirt. So the other thing was, I know how you said how you were just kind of like calm when you heard the news and like just like, oh, like, and things like that. And again, like I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And it did like hearing, cause like when like my experience hearing the news, which I guess you know, like it felt like, wow, like why did I just suddenly get emotional? Like I didn't think I was gonna, like there was like nothing in my brain that I was like, I'm gonna get emotional during this video, but like all of a sudden I like wanted to cry. Like that was like unexpected right there. Haha, me, like I hope I'm sobbing in this video. I mean, like, I guess I didn't think about it either way. Like, I wasn't like, I'm not gonna get emotional, but I didn't, like, there was nothing in me that, like, thought for a second that I would. Like, I didn't, like, missing nails, so that's a little embarrassing. But yeah, there's never a moment where I was like, I think I'm gonna get emotional. Like, I didn't even consider it. So, like, because I didn't consider it, there was so much that I, like, didn't think I would, I guess. Like, subconsciously I didn't think I would. Anyways, but like me like getting like in that moment, I felt like if I kept talking, like I would have like teared up a little. I don't even remember what I was saying now. I was just shocked at like me like getting emotional all of a sudden, like, and I was like, oh, haha. Anyways, going back to what I think I was saying, but so obviously my experience was very different because like when the announcement first came, like I felt like, I don't know, like clearly I didn't take it like you did. Like it felt like everything was ending, I guess. So I want to kind of like share my experience with you, I guess, but I also didn't want you to feel like I don't want to make you sad about it, especially when you were already like when you weren't really like sad, so I don't want to like put like anything on you and like make you feel bad about it. Not like feel bad as in guilty, but like I don't want it to become really sad just because I was so sad about it. Like I don't want you to feel that, like I don't you know, like, I don't want it to turn something that you were like, oh, like, this is fine, this is expected, I guess, and to turn it into something like that you're like I don't want you to feel how like I feel when I felt like everything was ending, you know, but I also I guess just wanted you to like understand my experience, I guess. Maybe that's selfish, I don't know. And I realized I could have been like, I could have prefaced this recording and been like, do you even want me to tell you, like, do you even want me to show you these things? But like, I was pretty sure you'd just be like, yeah, like, you should. And so I wasn't gonna wait for like this back and forth to get your permission to like talk more fully and like raw, I guess, like say the things I want to say, because I know you would tell me I should say the things I want to say. So I'm just doing it anyway. I hope you'd be like, no, I hope I'm like wrong and you'd be like, no, don't tell me. Like, don't, like, speak. I was gonna say don't speak your truth, which is like funny, like, why would I say that? Like, not speaking my truth. Like, that's just like a funny thing to say, but like, obviously you wouldn't be like, don't speak your mind or whatever, but, so anyways, so yeah, so I don't want to make you like, I hope you don't take this as, like, this onto yourself, I guess, and I just hope you keep your same experience. Like, I hope you can, like, just listen and understand my experience without taking it on as your own, I guess, if that makes sense. Haha. So, why am I, like, gonna cry? That's, like, funny. Okay. So, I have I did like not expect me to get like emotional. And this is like funny. Like I feel like I like am gonna cry. Okay, so like I like am now. I haven't, I guess, really talked about it that much now that I think about it. Like I haven't really talked about it with anyone that much. Like I called my mom when it happened and I was like crying on the phone with her. But I haven't like talked about how I feel about it, I guess. And it's also like I haven't, it's not like I've talked about me like crying right now. This is like funny. I also haven't like gotten to talk about it with anyone who like knows and loves BTS the way I do, you know? So, I mean, part of you being gone has been hard. I mean, besides like you being gone and like I love you and like you're my best friend, like, you know. So besides that, like part of it's been hard because like it just is it's been like hard to not hard to stand or love BTS as in like I feel like I can't on my own, but just like sad that I can't like talk about them with other people, you know? Like I'll see really funny tweets and I'm like nobody else would get this because they don't like they're not like they don't understand inside jokes and I'm like I don't really have anyone to like to share this with or like things will happen and I just don't have anyone to share it with and it's just like I've just been experiencing all these things on my own, I guess. And I don't really even remember why I was talking about this at all. Actually, I have no idea. I just have no idea. Like, there's a point to that. It's gone, so moving on, I guess. That's, like, funny. Like, that's, like, that thought, like, died right there. Like, what was I talking about before? I don't even know. That's, like, annoying. Like, haha. Anyways, but, oh, I was saying that because, like, so because I guess like when I started getting emotional, it's funny because I'm like no longer emotional at all. I'm like I'm not gonna cry the rest of this video. Like my emotionalness is like gone. Like I'm like good now. That's funny. It's giving. Never mind. But so I wow, this is like funny. Like I wonder if it was like not 1:24 a.m. if like I would be more coherent right now. I hope this whole thing makes no sense because I'm tired. I'm not even that tired. Like I'd be going to sleep at like 3 or 4. Like why am I like I don't know. But I guess I was saying I should like start writing down my thoughts so they're like I thought about like writing things down but I just didn't. I'm just here like this is like natural, like this is me just like going. But I guess I was saying that because like it made sense that I was getting emotional, because, like, besides talking to, like, crying on the phone with my mom, like, I didn't, like, get into any details. Like, I just said they're going to the military, and then I just cried, you know? Like, I didn't talk about, like, how I feel. Not even with Emily or Andrew. Like, I haven't talked about it with them yet, because, like, I don't know, I guess it's just too hard. And even if, like, I did, which, like, I still, like, have been wanting to talk to them about it, I guess, more. I haven't even told, like, Andrew or Will about it, like, at all. And my dad and I even hung out, like, one weekend after it happened, and I didn't mention it the entire time, like, I just couldn't. And, so I guess it's, like, the fact that I haven't, like, talked to, man, like, me being like, I'm not gonna get emotional again. So I guess it's just the fact that I haven't, like, talked about it with anyone who, like, loves BTS, you know? Like, I haven't, like, talked about, like, my feelings, or, like, gotten into anything, actually. So I guess that's why I'm getting a little emotional. And I also haven't, like, thought about it. Like, I've been, like, blocking it from my mind, like, majorly. So anyways, it's funny because I haven't even, like, started talking about anything, but I guess I need to go kind of way back to Festa, their anniversary. I don't know if you remember, like, months ago, me telling you there was, like, some BTS news that I needed to tell you about, but I kept not doing it because I don't remember if I ever told you the reason why I wasn't giving you the news. Like, I said it multiple recordings, I was like, haha, I still need to make that recording about the BTS news. And I don't know if I ever told you, like, why it never happened, or, like, the reason I was waiting, but it was because, you know, the Festa Live they do, like, every year, like, it's, like, usually, like, an hour long of all 7 members chatting every year during Festa, and I still needed to watch that video, because I knew what was going on, and, like, from Twitter and things like that, but I didn't want to speak on it without watching the live myself, and I kept planning on it, and I just don't know why I didn't. Like, I don't know, I mean, I feel like I've been really, like, I haven't really been watching all of BTS's lives and things like that, and I don't know, I mean, I think it's just, like, I mean, well, actually, I was going back and I was like, man, they, like, actually kind of have do a lot of lives. Like, it made me feel a little bit justified, because I was like, for, like, always feeling a little bit overwhelmed, because I was like, they kind of do them, like, kind of often. Like, there's, like, new stuff all the time. But, I guess part of it is, like, it's not in English, so it's, like, or, like, I'll be sleeping, and then I'm like, it's not in English, so I'm not gonna watch it right now, and then I don't necessarily know when there's subtitles, and then there's more, and it's just overwhelming. And then also just the fact that, like, I just have trouble, like, getting myself to do things and, like, motivating myself a lot of the times, and even with things I love, you know? Like, studying Korean I didn't do for, like, literally years, and I don't know, like sometimes I feel like I'm not a great BTS fan, because I just can't, like, bring myself to, like, stream their music, or, like, watch, like, even, like, new music videos. There's some I, like, haven't seen, like, not, like, group music videos, but, like, collaborations, like, solo member would collaborate with another one. There's some music videos I still haven't seen, and some I waited, like, a while to see, so it's just, like, I don't know, and it's not like I don't care, and it's not like I'm, like, less, like, I know I'm not less of an ARMY, and I know I'm not, like, drifting from BTS or anything. It's just, like, my own problem. Like, I just have trouble getting myself to do things, I guess, even the things, like, I care about and that matter to me. So that was just kind of one of those things, and I just kept procrastinating watching that live, and I don't know why it was so hard. And so I never told you the news, and I mean, I guess it doesn't quite matter anymore, since you didn't really take the military news as, like, a shock. So I guess it's, like, not as bad that I didn't tell you anymore. I mean, to an extent, not to an extent, maybe it, like, is even a little bit better, so it's less of, like, like it doesn't really matter as much anymore now that you've heard the news. But basically, the news from Festa was they did the live, and like the members announced that they were kind of they were gonna start living separately, and because their housing lease contract thing ended, and so they all have their own houses now. But RM told us like not to be sad or anything, because they were like joking around, and he's like, frankly, like we've been living together for like too long, and it doesn't make sense that like now that we're all like in our 30s almost, like to be like 7 men living together and things like that, and that like they've been living together for 10 years already, and that they're not sad about it. And they were saying how they even feel like in the short time they've like kind of started living separately, they feel even closer to each other, like they appreciate each other more and things like that. So they're just assuring us that like they were gonna be living separately, but it was like gonna be the best for them. And then like going from that, they were saying how they weren't going to be doing group activities as much, and they were going to more focus on solo activities. And basically, like, I mean, BTS, I don't even remember where like this started, when they first started talking about like chapter 2, but BTS, maybe it was like with the Proof album, which was like the anthropology, I don't know if that's the word, I don't think it is, anthology album, where they like had the album with like all the title tracks of all their songs, and then like 3 new songs. That marked like chapter 2 of BTS as like a thing that started happening. And so yeah, so it's like we've like gone into this new chapter of BTS, and it's just like a thing that we've talked about, like we're like, this is chapter 2, like, and things like that. And so people have made jokes like, man, chapter 2 has brought like a lot of like shirtless pics of like the members, and like they're just kind of like going wild in chapter 2. But anyways, so people have made those jokes. But in the live, they were saying how chapter 2 or chapter 1 was supposed to end after they released Map of the Soul 7, and then they were going to go on a world tour, and they were going to travel to all the continents and go to like a bunch of countries they've never been to before. And then that was going to be the end of chapter 1, and they didn't. And then I think they kind of implied after that they were going to go to the military. And then that tour was canceled because of COVID, obviously. And so they kind of were like lost, I guess. They felt kind of lost. And so it was kind of hard for them because they didn't really have any direction. And Namjoon especially was talking about how he was struggling because he didn't really know who like he was, or like what he was supposed to do, and like what his role was like for himself and for BTS. And they kind of all like expressed the sentiment that since COVID they've kind of felt like mechanical, and like Yoongi was talking about writing lyrics, and how before he had stuff to say but maybe wasn't like able to write it well, or like wasn't like good at like the technical aspects like writing and things like that. But it was like now he just doesn't have anything to say, even if he like could write it well. So they're kind of just struggling, I guess, without much direction. And they were saying that like then they did Dynamite, and then they decided to like postpone things a little bit longer because of the Grammys. And then again, they were nominated for the Grammys. They kind of decided to postpone it some more. And they just kind of have been having a hard time, I guess, with all of that. And so basically, during the live, they announced that, not announced, that sounds so like, that sounds formal. It wasn't like an announcement. It was like they came to just like be honest and kind of tell us what was like going on, and like update us. Like it it was very like honest and real and like caring the way they went live, like just to like update armies and like tell us like what's going on with them, and like very sincere and like things like that. And so it wasn't like an announcement, but it was more just like updating us, letting us know what was like going on with them. And so they were basically saying like they would start focusing more on taking like they kind of were going to be taking a break, but not like a like cut off, like not like a hiatus or like a disbandment or anything like that, but just like resting and like focusing on like solo activities and like just kind of doing their own thing, and with the end goal in mind of like eventually they would come back together and be like have like understand themselves more, and so that they could be like a stronger BTS, and like just so that they could just come back together and be stronger, and like, and they said like I remember hearing someone say like so that they could come back and so that they could do this for longer, you know, like taking a rest, taking a break so that they could continue for an even longer time. And so I literally watched that live like today, like a few hours ago. But like hearing, like Twitter was like a mess after that, because a lot of people were like twisting their words, and it was hard too because of the translations, especially for like international army. And there were like a lot of articles saying like BTS was like disbanding, and but more because we kind of knew, like we were like that's not true, but more so like a lot of articles saying like they were going on a hiatus and things like that. And so we knew like they weren't actually disbanding, but like the thought of them going on like a long break like with like nothing, you know, was really sad. And so like army were just like, we were all just like a mess, and like, and the fact that it was like right after their anniversary and things like that, we were like their 9th anniversary, it was just really hard because it was like, it was their anniversary, it was like celebration, and then they were like what we thought like was like announcing like a break, and like, and in the live like Namjoon was like crying, and like Jimin cried too, and they were all just getting emotional, and so it was just really hard for us to like handle that, I guess. But then like they kind of were clearing it up, and it was just like they were just they just kind of cleared it up, and they were saying like we're not disbanding, like we're just kind of gonna go solo for like just a little bit, but they were still planning on like doing group activities together, like some group activities, and they were gonna be like resuming Run BTS because it stopped, which like it's not every Tuesday we thought it would be at the time, but there's just been like 4 Run BTS episodes since that announcement in June, or since the live. But with the taking a break and doing solo things, there was an announcement that like each member would release a solo album. So Hobie released his however long ago, which it's like so good, like it's like so freaking good. And he performed solo at like the Lollapalooza festival, which the entire thing is on BTS's YouTube, so like we will be watching it when you get back. But it's just so good. Like he did like amazing. Like he did so good. I was so proud of him. And so yeah, Hobie released his album, and they're all gonna release an album. So it was sad for like a little bit, especially when we kind of weren't really sure what was happening. It was just very like confusing. Like we weren't really sure what was gonna happen, and it was like we trusted BTS, what they said, that they were gonna come back, that they were gonna be stronger, and that like this is what was needed, this is what they needed. But it was still hard because it was like there was just still so much uncertainty, even with trusting that they would, like, come back like they said, I guess. And it was, like, new, you know, like, because they've always been together. But I guess, like, on the outside, things didn't really change that much as time went on. Like, it was just kind of the same, I guess. Like, you almost, like, wouldn't know anything was different, I guess. But I feel like ever since then, there's been kind of, like an uncertainty, I feel. Like, I feel like all ARMY could kind of feel this uncertainty. And, like, still, like, a sadness that they weren't, like, all, like, they, like, knowing they weren't, like, together, and, like, oh, and that, like, there wouldn't be any more concerts coming up soon, like, and things like that. Like, there, because I remember, like, people speculating, like, maybe they'll go on a world tour. Like, maybe they'll announce that during Festa, or, like, a world tour, or, like, I don't know, all these things. So it was kind of sad knowing that, like, we wouldn't get any of that. But then, like, Hobie's album was coming out, and so, like, preparing for that was exciting. And then, like, and then they were coming out with, like, some, like, collaborations, and, like, so there was exciting stuff happening, but there was still, like, an uncertainty, I guess. And so I know I talked about the concert that they did in Busan. It was for free. And I remember I told you, like, I cried during one of the songs. And wait, let me go back. So the album that they released, like, for, like, around the time of Festa, the, like, Proof album, that they had 3 new songs. One of them was called Run BTS, that was, like, the sexy song. And then the other one was called Yet to Come. That was, like, the main, what is it called? Like, the main song? Why do I not know the title track. Yet to Come is the title track. And then the other song was called For Youth. And both of those 2 songs were, like, emotional, I guess. And so Yet to Come had a music video, and the set was, like, all, like, it incorporated a lot of, like, things from past music videos. So there was, like, a lot of sets from past music videos, like the bus from, like, No More Dream, and I don't know, you just have to see it. There's like a thing, but I don't know what it's called, and I feel like you wouldn't, like, even if I knew what it was called, you probably wouldn't know what it was. Like, you just have to see it and then you'd recognize it. But anyway, so they just had a lot of, like, symbols from other things, and, like, small gestures and things like that. So it was, like, it was very much like the entire Proof album was very much, like, for ARMY, and, like, you could tell, like, it wasn't like it wasn't, like, to hype, it wasn't, like, a hype album, and it wasn't, like to get more fans, like, or anything like that, because the song, like, Yet to Come was, like, it was, like, very much, like, a slow, like, pretty song that was meaningful to ARMY, and, like, other people watching the music video wouldn't feel the same way as ARMY do. Like, it was just meaningful. Like, that's what it was. And, like, some of the lyrics were like, yeah, the past was honestly the best, but my best is what comes next. And, like, I'll be singing till the dawn. You know, it's funny because sometimes I just, like, don't even know BTS lyrics, and it's, like, a little ridiculous. Like, I feel like my memory is just awful. Like, I'm pretty sure it is my memory, because there'll be songs and I'm, like, mixing up the lyrics, and I'm like, I've been in ARMY too long to mix up the lyrics, so I just really think I'm, like, bad at remembering lyrics. Also, like, that one song, I don't remember what it was, but, like, I would always sing it, like, a certain way, and I never even questioned whether or not that was, like, it might have been Best of Me, but I'm not sure. and I never even questioned if like what I was singing was correct or not, but it's just always what I sang, and it didn't even make sense. And then I realized the lyrics that I was like miss-singing were like the name of the song, and I was like, why did I like think it was this? And I never even questioned it. But anyways, but so the Yet to Come, it's just like the song is like the song itself was like a promise that like there was still more coming, you know, in the future, and but my best, the best is yet to come is like the lyric, like part of the lyrics. The best is yet to come. And I guess when it came out, I feel like part of me kind of felt like, I don't know, like I remember hearing people talking about it, and it was like after they released, or after they said like how they were gonna kind of go on like a small break and like kind of do things solo, people were kind of like, that's why they released this album, like that's why they were saying like the best is yet to come, like they knew they were gonna be kind of taking a break, but like this was their song to like comfort us and tell us like they're still gonna be here, like it was like a promise, you know. And then their other song, For Youth, was, I think I might have told you about it a little bit already, but it was just a very, like, even though Yet to Come was like a meaningful and emotional song, this song, For Youth, is like even more of an emotional song. Like, it's like it starts with like fans singing, like forever we are young, like, you know, like young forever epilogue. So it starts with like the fans' voices singing that, and then it's like BTS, the actual song, and like the song lyrics, it's like, if I never met you, onan 어떤 모습일까, which is like who would I be, what would I be like. So like, if I never met you, what would I be like? And then like it keeps going, and then like one of the lyrics is like, I'll be with you for the rest of my life, and you're my best friend for the rest of my life. Like, so they're like singing to us, like telling us they'll always be with us, and like that they'll always be our best friend and things like that. So it's like a really emotional song, and like when I first heard it, I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, like I was like, I'm gonna cry. So watching the concert, that was like just like 2 weeks ago or something, when they sang that song, that's the song I was crying, because they were like telling me like they're gonna be like my best friend for the rest of my life, so it was like really emotional. And I feel like also, like, I remember talking to Kaya literally the night of the concert, like while like probably just a few hours before the pre-concert began, like when it began at like 9 p.m. and then the concert started at like 4 a.m. Like just a little bit before that, I was talking to her about, oh no, you know, actually I think it was like just the night after the concert. I was telling her how I cried during the song, and I was telling her how I feel like part of it is like, actually I don't know, these might have been two separate conversations, I'm not sure, but basically right around the concert, I was telling Kaya how I think I'm like kind of on edge because of like the BTS military thing, because I guess you probably like just expected that they were like going to go, and you just, so that was just like the expectation. But there was still like, I guess, like a chance that they were going to be exempted and things like that. And I would I guess, like, while I did obviously consider, like, the fact, like, yeah, maybe they're gonna go to the military, I never let myself, like, seriously think about it. And, like, I guess I don't know whether I actually thought one way or another they were gonna be, like, exempted or they weren't gonna be exempted, but I never, like, let myself actually consider, like, if they weren't going to be. Like, it was just, like, they better be. Like, they better be exempted or I'm not gonna be okay. Like, just hoping with like everything in me that they would be exempted, and like why wouldn't they be, like they're BTS, like they were the president, like they were South Korea's like presidential envoys, like to visit the United Nations, like they like went to the US to meet President Biden, to like be there to like sign in like anti-Asian hate crime law thing, like they like they're like Korea's national treasure, like how could they not be exempted, you know? So it's like I never, like with everything in me, like I hoped to God that they weren't gonna like go to the military. And like I would think like, oh man, like cuz it was pushed back for 2 years, cuz even then, like even 2 years ago, I like never let myself think about it. Like I was like they better be exempted. And it was pushed back 2 years, and I never let myself think about it. I was like it was pushed back for them, like why wouldn't they be exempted? And so I just never let myself think about it. And so, but even amongst armies, there was like it wasn't just me, because everyone kind of was hoping that they would be exempted, and there was a lot of talk about exemption for them, like they're on Twitter and things like that. And with the concert, there was like people were talking about like it was like, because it was a free concert, you know, people were kind of saying how it was like supposed to be like kind of a test, like if the concert went well, then people would consider, like the government would consider exempting BTS, you know? So like just kind of to see like their impact and like things like that. And I guess I didn't really know why, or didn't understand exactly how the concert success completely correlated with whether or not BTS would be exempted from the military. But like it felt like it felt like tangible, the like tension, I guess, of like the time surrounding the concert. Like it felt like, I don't know, like without even necessarily like seeing things like straight out, like flat out say it, and without even like really thinking about it, like it was just like intuitively, like it felt like something was like gonna happen, I guess. And so like watching the concert, like I felt like kind of emotional and like kind of sad, and like I didn't really know why. And like when they were performing the song, like the I'll be with you for the like me singing it, like the song, like where they're saying they're gonna be with us for the rest of our life and like be our best friend for the rest of our life, like I was crying. And like if it happened like a year or two ago, like I don't know if I would have cried, because I don't cry during BTS performances, like I don't cry during like anything except for myself. But I was crying, and like I feel like intuitively, like I don't know, like I just felt really sad about everything. And the other thing was like these days I felt like so sad about like time passing, and like not like with me, but like with BTS, like I feel sad, and like I constantly, like I wish I could go back to like 2014 BTS, 2016 BTS, like even like 2020 BTS. Like I've constantly been thinking about that. Not so much anymore, but like around that time I would think that so much. Like it it felt like BTS was like slipping away, I guess. And so that was also part of it. Like I can't even like explain it completely, but it just felt like I don't know, like there it just felt like there's been so much like tension regarding BTS lately. Like before that thing, and Namjoon like said something like during an acceptance speech about like there would be like, I don't know, like there was just like things that like pointed towards like something big was gonna happen at the concert. And so, and like how the like officials were going to the thing, and so it was like like there's so much tension in like with the like oh yeah, because there was like supposed to be like government officials like going to the concert, and so it just felt like it was a big deal, and there's just a lot of tension and things like that. And I guess I feel like I can't explain it anymore, and but just for like a while it's just felt like there's been tension, I guess. And so after the concert it was over, and I guess I was just kind of hoping and not thinking. And they did, I mean, they did so good. Like, they did so good, and it was free, and like the whole city of Busan, like, people were talking about it on Twitter, and like everything was purple. Like, like, it's funny that I'm like crying at this, but like, like random like Koreans who lived there, like were confused like what was happening, and like everyone could tell, like it was like the entire city was like a festival for BTS, and like everything was purple, like the airports, and like going outside, like the buildings, and like armies were talking on Twitter, like everything was purple, like you could tell, like it was like BTS was like everywhere. And so the concert was like a success, obviously, like it brought like a lot of like income and like a lot of people going in, you know, like boosting the economy, and it was like did everything it was supposed to. And I remember like on Twitter people were saying like cuz it was free for people streaming online too. And there was like 3 sites where you could stream it on, and people, I think I'm sure I already said this, but people were saying like you got to like stream it on like the legal websites so that you can like we can make sure the viewership is high. Like, don't stream it illegally because it's literally free, but then all of the like legal free ones crashed, the official ones crashed, so we were all like streaming it illegally. But part of the reason for like people being so insistent on streaming it on the official websites was so that it would like look really successful, like to the government, and like more people would see like, yes, BTS like has all these people like waiting for them. And so the concert was really well, and they did really well, and it ended. And 2 days after the concert, it was October 17th. I woke up, and it was 11:11 p.m. I mean a.m. because I wake up at 11:11 a.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays when I only have one class, and I wake up at 7:07 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays when I have 3 classes, and one of them is an 8 a.m. class. And I checked my phone, pulling it up because I took a screenshot. And I had a notification on my phone, and it said, "Notice, Big Hit Music confirms BTS to fulfill mandatory military service." And like, I don't even know, I I just felt so like empty when I saw it. Like, I didn't cry when I first saw it. Like, I just felt so like empty, like my heart like dropped, and it was just like dread, like, and it was just, I don't know. So I read the message, obviously, and I'll read it now. It says, "Big Hit Music is proud to announce today that the members of BTS are currently moving forward with plans to fulfill their military service. After the phenomenal concert to support Busan's bid for the World Expo 2030, and as each individual embarks on solo endeavors, it is the perfect time, and the members of BTS are honored to serve. Since the creation of BTS over 10 years ago, The band has risen to international success, broken records, and catapulted K-pop into the global stratosphere. Big Hit Music has focused to the milestone moment when it would be possible to respect the needs of the country and for these healthy young men to serve with their countrymen. And that's now. Group member Jin will initiate the process as soon as his schedule for his solo release is concluded at the end of October. He will then follow the enlistment procedure of the Korean government. Other members of the group plan to carry out their military service based on their own individual plans. Both the company and the members of BTS Both the company and the members of BTS are looking forward to reconvening as a group again around 2025, following their service commitment with the release of their first anthology album earlier this year. It opened the path to allow the members to take some time to explore individual projects. As part of the HYBE family, we support and encourage our artists and are beyond proud that they will each now have time to explore their unique interests and do their duty by being of service to the country they call home. Yet to come, the most beautiful moment, is more than a track from their latest album. It is a promise. There is much more yet to come in the years ahead from BTS. Thank you. I'm sobbing it up right now. Kind of embarrassing. So and even when I read that, I didn't cry. I guess, when I saw the announcement, what else was there to say, I guess, that just explains, more. And I immediately went to Twitter, and I didn't cry on Twitter, because ARMY Twitter was, so funny, everyone was just making jokes about it, to be honest. And so it was, annoying, I was man, me not even crying right now, I'm just, looking at these funny tweets, and, wanting to laugh, wanting to cry, and, having, it is 2:02, so I wished, 2:02 a.m., but, wanting to cry, but then reading tweets that are, making me, want to laugh, except I don't want to laugh, so it was just, a weird time. But, I will say, it did, especially for, just being hit with it, I guess I'm glad I didn't cry at first, and I'm glad I did cry about it later and now, so haha. I guess it would feel, weird if I never cried about it personally, but, so I guess I'm, glad I had time to cry about it later, calling my mom and, later in the day, but it was nice to, be met with, a community, I guess, and, see that, and, everyone making jokes about it, made it a lot easier in the initial, moment, because the announcement was made, while I was sleeping, so it was, however many hours before, so there was, plenty of tweets about it. So I am now going to share those tweets with you. It's funny because I screenshotted a bunch, I sure hope this video, makes its way onto, YouTube and like is able, because it's on my computer, so I just sure hope it's like possible. That'd be like real funny if not. Like I'd have to like have my phone and like record it on my phone like this, and that would suck. Okay. So someone, I'm gonna zoom in so you can. This is like kind of annoying, I won't even lie. Oh, actually I'm gonna go, this is like funny, this is like so unorganized. It's funny because this recording is gonna be like so long, like comically long. Now let's see, shall we? Okay, the very first tweet I saw opening Twitter was this one. It says, oh man, it's like backwards. It says Army Twitter after big hit announcement regarding BTS enlistment, a thread. So I'm just gonna read these out to you because it's a thread. So the first one says, Seokjin spends one day in the military and starts cracking, look Army, I'm also Army, jokes. This one says, if I spend 12 hours a day for the next 2.5 years, it'll be like they were only gone for 14 months. I've cracked the code, besties. I've beat the system. Someone said, get pregnant by 25 and increase the streamers and voters. 25 meaning like the year that they said they would come back together. I'm not gonna read that one. I just am gonna read it. I feel like we need something to like, we need something a little bit like that's just too much to like something that's just a little bit ridiculous to, you know what I mean? I feel like I can't express how I'm trying to, but I'm just gonna read it anyway. It's like hard. If BTS is going to be in Army, does it mean they're going to be inside me? So, you know. But it was funny. I felt like it made me feel better like in that moment. I was like, this is a little too much, but like yeah, I don't know. Like it was like the humor just in that moment like was needed. Someone said we survived the first hour, only 26.297 hours left until 2025, but that was actually 26,298. That's the right there. It's funny because these aren't like as funny me reading them out right now as like they were in the moment. Like, isn't that kind of funny? Like in the moment, like these are needed. I was on Twitter for like an hour that day. Like when I first woke up, I was on it for a really long time. On my Instagram, the posts about the military man, like loving a military man is not hard. The distance is hard. The worry is hard. The sacrifices are hard. But loving him, that's the easiest thing I've ever done. I stole that from Twitter. It's funny because like why was that so relatable? Like obviously it was like we were like being ironic about like, I mean not like kind of ironic about like the military man thing, but like why was I like I feel that. This one says, imagine becoming an army after the Busan Expo concert, which was like the one they did with like laughing emojis and like pointing emojis like this. And then it says BTS can relate. Someone said, cause like someone said, so what's everyone's favorite color? Kind of trying to like be able to like talk with armies, I guess, and like make the time go by faster. Because like with community, so like so what's everyone's favorite color? And then someone replied and said Seokjin has a favorite color with like crying SpongeBob. And then so they each got 7 tattoos, you know, and we don't know where Yoongi's is. So someone said, don't let this military enlistment news distract us from the fact that we still don't know where Yoongi got his 7 tattoo, which is really funny because like there's been like multiple things that have like happened and people are like, don't let this news distract us from like the fact that Yoongi, like we don't know where Yoongi has his 7 tattoo, you know. But the other news wasn't like sad and like what is the word, like devastating like this was. So it was just like funny. Someone said maybe if we all act extra sad, Namjoon will finally post a shirtless thirst trap. Someone said, guys, if you're gonna kill yourselves, can you do it after Jin's single releases? We need the sales. This one says, Yoongi, I will support you no matter what, and it's like a baby kitty. Someone said, okay, so June 14th was the day that the Festa, and they announced that they were going to be kind of taking focusing on solo work. And someone said, timeline is taking this better than June 14th. That's a good sign. And someone replied and said, I think I should have just died on June 14th, which I felt that in that moment I was like, I feel that. And then someone was like, BTS as shampoos, a thread, because I don't really remember what era it is. Well, that's just not gonna focus. But there was an era where Twitter was full of like BTS as blah 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 memes. It might have been during 2020, during COVID when the tour was canceled and armies were really bored and things like that, and so we were making a lot of funny threads like that. I don't know if you were an army back then or not, but so it was a joke because it was we're bored because there's nothing for us now that they're leaving. Anyways, this one says, guys, he's already served for 30 years. Serve, The picture wasn't really that good, but it was Jin serving. So there was a song that Yoongi produced that JK sang. It's called Stay Alive. And it's so good. It's really good. But one of the lyrics, it's please you stay alive. That's part of the lyrics of that song. So someone said, y'all tweeting how old you'll be in 2025, but I'm staying the same age because I'm killing myself. We are not the same. And then someone said, honestly, shut up. Stream well till their sales come back. Stream well till they come back till their comeback and increase sales. The heck you gonna do after dying? It's way fun and nerve-wracking to be alive. Remember what they said? Please you stay alive. So it was funny. Someone said they're enlisting according to their own plans, so they'll definitely leave behind at least one member to supervise us, haha. Someone said first day, platoon commander wondering why there's a jumbo RJ sitting in one of their new recruits' bunk beds. Someone says Jimin is Korean/Egyptian, he's not required to serve. They were making jokes about BTS not being Korean, so they don't have to serve. Someone said, can the military exempt Yoongi's hair? Because his hair is so long right now. And so another thing about BTS enlisting is they had a request pending, I guess, to see whether or not they were going to be exempted, and the government officials did go to the concert, and they were I guess sitting in the front and things like that. But BTS, the announcement, they didn't consult anyone, the government wasn't no, we're not gonna enlist you. BTS just chose for themselves to enlist and to stop. Because basically what was going on was there was a lot of back and forth with the government, and they were being wishy-washy and not making a decision, And so BTS was just kind of tired of waiting for them. And also the government was they were talking about making BTS go to the military, but allowing them to do overseas performances anyways, to do both, and but because of with that, they would have to the money BTS would make would go to the government, and there's just a lot of talk about things that the government would basically kind of use BTS and just using BTS for money and taking advantage of them. So BTS like just deciding they were gonna go on their own was it was like a shock to everyone, including the government. And so this person said, "In the way media is shook, it means the government did not know. Haha." And then someone said, "Bangtan, never let them know your next move, Sonyeondan." And then someone said, "Minyugi, please at least tell us where the tattoo is before you go." Someone said, "I waited 9 years for the Taekook subunit and 3 years for a Taekook Selka. I can do this." There's this thing about like apparently there's a traditional Korean shoe where like Korean women buy it like when they're waiting for their husbands or boyfriends to return from the military service, and so it's just like a rubber shoe they buy and wear. And the purple ones in Korea like sold out, like all these women were buying it because they were like waiting for their military husbands and things like that. Okay. And then it's funny, like I still have so many. Like it's funny because like you're probably like a little bit bored. I feel like if you were like scrolling through them, it'd be more entertaining than me like reading them out loud. Like I feel like me reading them out loud, it's like not funny anymore. So that's like funny. This tweet says, enlisting for their military service right after they've solidified their status of an indisputable cultural movement and the most successful Korean artist South Korea has ever seen. That's some huge boss move. I feel like they explained it better, like what I was trying to say about like the whole country or the whole city was purple and like everyone it was like such a success and things like that. That's like that they were talking about the concert like right after the concert where they solidified their status of an indisputable cultural movement. Someone said everything reminds me of them, and it was like a tweet they had just tweeted with, and it had 6 retweets and 13 likes. I guess I don't know if you know like what I mean, but when BTS like will be like introduced to someone and they'll like flirt with them, I guess, like a man, like I don't know if you were in ARMY when this Run BTS episode came out. I don't know that you were. But they were like in a flower shop, or there was like a florist, like a male florist, and they were like making bouquets and things like that, and BTS was like, "Oh my gosh, he's so handsome," like telling the man he was so handsome, and like they recently did another Run BTS episode where they did like flying yoga, and the instructor was a man, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, like his body, like he's so muscular and things like that," and so they'll always like be like complimenting other men and like things like that. And so this one was like, a lot of muscly men in the military are about to hear a lot of whoa sounds, and it was just funny. This one was really funny. It said, Big Hit announces Seokjin is joining the army. Members are doing solo promotions. You go to a concert. You turn around, and who's sitting beside you? Seokjin. He says, they didn't say which army. It's like funny. Oh, so the song Paradise by BTS? So there was like a time when ARMY were constantly like talking about Paradise and talking about how BTS forgot it because they've never like been singing it and they like don't mention it, and so like we would like try to tell them like they should they should perform it and like they should sing it, and like they just never even mentioned it or anything like that, and so it was like an ongoing joke where how they like forgot the song even existed and things like that. And so someone said 3 years isn't even that bad, like Bangtan literally forgot about Paradise for longer than that. Some of these are like funny jokes and some of these are talking about like political stuff, not actually not like political, but like but this one said, K-Army friend was telling me the other day that they were really worried that the government, this untrustworthy administration, would attempt to offer alternative service with too many strings attached and milking them for a long time. It's good this way, they won't be beholden to anyone. And then this one says, K-pop industry will finally witness for the first time that an artist that goes on hiatus for the military service won't be losing any fans, let alone relevance. ARMY are used to 1 to 2 years hiatus, and we know BTS are good at communicating with us. It's Purple City forever. This one says Jimin digging a tunnel to get to Taehyung's barack, only to be met halfway by Taehyung and his little digging spoon. This one says there's relief in knowing they finally have clarity on their own terms after being met with uncertainty and used as a buzzword for the topic for this long. My trust stays solid in them, and so the best is yet to come. Everything will be fine. Because even I don't know if you remember, but like when other companies met with like the government to discuss like exemptions and things like that, and they brought up BTS a lot, even though no one from Big Hit like went to meet with them, and so they were kind of like using BTS as an excuse and like a scapegoat. And even though BTS never like requested an enlistment themselves, you know, so like people keep using BTS as like using their name, trying to get their own K-pop stars to like not serve. So it's been like unfair to them, you know. So that's what that was kind of talking about. It's like they're finally like taking things on their own terms, and like someone said, but who's gonna take care of June's bonsai, with a sad face. Someone said, since 2018, the government used them for their own benefits, throwing them under the bus, and everyone to hate on every time, not having the guts to decide what they want. This is clearly BTS's decision without possibly the government knowing, and I'm so proud of them for that. Someone said, all I know is I should have went to freaking Busan. And I like felt that one. Like I like really felt that one, because I remember I was debating a lot about whether or not I should go to the Las Vegas concert after the LA one. And like after this all happened, like after the June 14th thing where they announced they were going to be like going on solo, because I remember part of the reason I wasn't going to go is I was like, what if right after this they announce a tour and they go to Texas? And I was like, not that I'll regret they like going to the other concert, but like if they would, like I wouldn't like necessarily go, you know. So after the June 14th thing, like I really regretted not going to the Las Vegas concert. And then with this free concert in Busan, like I was like, man, like I should go, but like I just knew it wasn't like plausible, so it's not like I actually considered it. But like after that, the person saying like all I know is I should have went to freaking Busan, like I just like really related. And like also not even just that, but I also like connected it to like I should have gone to the Las Vegas concert, you know. So I was just like, I like get that. Namjoon was like recently also like talking to us about how he was like just having like you could tell he was just having like a really hard time and like was really stressed out. And they also were talking about how they felt bad because there were things they couldn't tell us yet, and like that was like stressful to them. So someone was saying how they just feel kind of relieved because now it's finally out in the open and June won't be that stressed anymore. He was suffering not being able to tell us. He's so precious. So this other one was saying South Korea has an exemption. It has an exemption system based on merit. Olympians/classical musicians. BTS has brought as much or more honor/fame to their country as any other elite performer, but pop music has always been considered lowly and vulgar, hence the hand-wringing about what to do with BTS. Big Hit Music announced that Jin will be the first member of BTS to serve his mandatory military duty, followed by his other 6 bandmates. Based on individual plans, their goal is to reconvene as a group in 2025. BTS never asked for exemption / was used by many in this discussion. Oh, I guess that last one wasn't as relevant. I was like continuing to the other one, but oh, the like second half of that I read was like the top of like the other one. Anyways, but so the thing about the exemption system based on merit and the Olympian/classical musicians, people were saying how like I mean musicians we've never heard of, you know, like just if you're good at playing the violin or something, like a world-renowned, or not world-renowned, but like a famous like the most famous violinist in South Korea, but like obviously we don't know them, you know, like nobody comparatively would know them. and like people who like were competed on like soccer teams but were benched the whole time, like they were exempted, like, so it's just ridiculous. So even that, like, things like that, like also were like why it was so unexpected, because like once it happened, like once the announcement happened, like it was like we were all in like disbelief, like we couldn't believe it. Like obviously BTS chose it for themselves, you know, so it was like to an extent they didn't give the government a chance to exempt them, except they had, because the government had been like not sure, like wishy-washy for years, you know. But so that it was still like crazy how the government like hadn't exempted them, you know, like it was just like shocking, like how. Someone said, well, BTS as fridges, anyone? With like an old Patrick meme. Someone said, Jin posting his bald head and writing, still handsome, right? I can see it already. One thing I'll forever praise BTS for is their honesty and transparency. The Festa dinner, their speeches in Busan, it literally prepares us for this moment where we could easily be confused and sad, but now that we're informed, we're understanding and more eager to show them. Another one says, they did their concert, they showed their power to the whole country, and after that they took their life and career in their own hands, despite higher forces wanting to control them. That's some iconic stuff. So the thing about them, like, their honesty and transparency and like the Festa dinner, and then they just like there's so much like illusion that like something big was gonna happen around the concert, and part of it was like scary and things like that, and obviously like it was still sad and it still felt like everything was like blowing up, but I did feel like because of the Festa dinner, like I felt like everything was like preparing for the moment, which made it like stressful and like the tension I was talking about, but it also made it like a little bit easier. Like there's some people who mention like feeling relieved, because we all could kind of feel that tension and like something was happening. So there's people who talk, like I didn't feel relieved, but like I get what they're saying, and there was kind of like a release to an extent. So the way they like prepared the news for like months even, like felt very like compassionate and considerate, and like you could tell they like put a lot of thought into how they were going to announce it. So this says 2 types of armies, and then it's like the Twitter, like the trending topics, and the top it's like says BTS members to move forward with military service in South Korea, and it's like an article and like the picture of them, and then it has like two trending like phrases, and the first one is I'm crying in all caps, and the second one that's trending is buzz cut June. Do not forget the last words. Yet to come, the most beautiful moment is more than a track from their latest album. It is a promise. There's much more yet to come in the years ahead from BTS. BTS won't break their promise. Trust them. Someone said, I just woke up. Should have stayed sleeping. And I like also really felt that, because like I found out like right when I woke up, and I was like, I agree. Someone said, frick, we don't even get to spend his birthday with him, talking about Jin, because since his birthday is coming up in December, there's not like a date when he's leaving yet, but we think it's before his birthday. So they're in their concert during Busan. This is just a quote from Namjoon, because Hobie said something like about BTS, and it kind of alluded to like them, I don't know, like he said something, and then like Army was like, oh my gosh, and then he's like, no, like I'm not saying anything, like there's nothing big happening or whatever, but he was just like, just trust us, like just have faith in us. Like they kept telling us to trust them. So anyways, this was RM's like ending speech. He said, our 7 hearts are unified, and if you trust us, whatever happens, we'll overcome it all and happily make music. So just like Hosok said, please have faith in us, please return home, with happy memories of today. So there's a joke about people saying like not among BTS but just among like pop culture, I guess, like would you rather have like this like cringy like action or something son or this cringy action daughter? So one of them is like, where's my hug at? Like when guys, I guess, I don't know that you've ever experienced this. I haven't really, but when guys are like, yo, where's my hug at? And it's usually cringy because you're like, why would I hug you? Like, it's usually when it's like a creepy guy and he's like trying to force like physical contact with a girl, you know? And the other one is like, oh my gosh, your hand is so big, like let's compare sizes, because that's supposed to be like flirting, you know, and it's I guess like a little cringy. It can be considered that. So there's like a joke like, would you rather have like a yo, where's my hug at son, or like, oh my gosh, my hand is so small, let's compare hand sizes daughter? And so this one was June 14th son or October 17th daughter, because they were both like bad, you know, days. Someone said there's like an article that says the government burdened with BTS's enlistment decision, politicians embarrassed during military fire. And then someone replied to that and said they felt that slap hard. Dynamite? Okay, this is like the people. Excuse me, that was kind of funny. Everyone was shocked that BTS didn't get any enlistment, you know, with how much like their crazy impact. And so people were just talking about it, and one of the things that like was talked about is Dynamite, just Dynamite, the song alone, Dynamite alone, was projected to generate 8,000 jobs and $1.4 billion for the Korean economy. Isn't that crazy? 8,000 jobs just from like one song that BTS released. It's just crazy. Oh, this one just like, it was like funny. It says, oh no, it's only been 15 out of 11,620,080 minutes. So I just felt that one. This one says, does the military know that Taehyung can't sleep without 4 pillows? Do they know that he can't wear boots for a very long time? Do they know he can't eat any spicy food? Do they know? This is a quote from Seokjin. It says, everyone knows that Army and I are inseparable like the moon and the earth. So in one of their acceptance speeches a while ago, I don't even remember when it was, Jungkook was like accepting the speech, or accepting the... No, never mind. I'm confusing this with something else. During their permission to dance, their PTD concerts, Jungkook said, this is not going to be the last time. This is never going to be. So people bring that up a lot because it's like proof that like they're not, because even during the permission to dance concerts before the announcement, people like even then could kind of feel like not necessarily like, this isn't exactly it, but this is just the way I'm gonna phrase it, but like doubt that like they were gonna stop soon or things like that. I don't know. So even like since the PTD concerts, like last year, like almost a year ago, BTS was like telling us that they were like still gonna keep going, you know? But this is Jungkook.
This is not gonna be the last time. This is never gonna be.
I'm like, we should watch that again. He's just so cute.
This is not gonna be the last time. This is never gonna be.
Anyways, so there was like an article that said like South Korea stands to lose billions from making K-pop superstars BTS do military service. Between 2014 and 2023, analysts projected BTS would have contributed 29.1 trillion won to the South Korean economy. And then it has other numbers. And this person said, 29.1 trillion by BTS. Oh, South Korea, it's a pity you couldn't protect the treasure. And someone replied under that because BTS released, oh, you know, the song Bad Decisions. Someone said they took Let's Make Some Bad Decisions seriously. This is a quote from Namjoon during the recent concert. He said, "No matter what happens to us in the future," I think I might have already read this, to be honest, but we're just gonna read it again just in case. "No matter what happens to us in the future, the hearts/thoughts of the 7 members of BTS will be the same, and if you guys believe in us, no matter what happens to us in the future, we will continue to move forward strongly, and we will happily make music and do concerts with you guys, so please, I hope that you have faith in us." Someone said this tweet is how I found out, and it's a tweet I read to you earlier. Jimin digging a tunnel to get to Taehyung's barack, only to be met with halfway by Taehyung and his little digging spoon. And I just thought that was funny that they found out like that. Like, I was like, man, imagine finding out like that. This one says Jimin when he goes to the military, and it's like Chelsea, camo Chelsea boots, and it was just funny. Someone said, "Just realized I have to somehow make it through the rest of college without BTS." And someone said, "Literally same, my college started 3 weeks ago, and now I have to spend all 3 years without them." And that, like, also hit because I was like, I realized I've lived 18 years, and I haven't been in Army for 4 of them yet, which it is coming up, like, almost 4, like, if you round, because it was, like, beginning of 2019, so like next year, the beginning of next year will be like 4 years. But like since I was a freshman, I've been a fan of them. I've been in Army, and so, and I don't even remember my life before high school. Like, I barely even remember high school, you know? So, like, so much of the me that I can still relate to, because I don't relate at all to my middle school self, so much of the me that I can remember and relate to has been with BTS. And even though, like I'm an adult now, I guess, technically, like, 18, and it's only been, like, less than 4 years, like, it feels like my entire childhood, because my entire high school, like, feels like my entire life, so it feels like my entire childhood has been with BTS. And so, like, having to go, like, the rest of my school career without them just feels, like, wrong. Someone said, "Into securing a connection with their fans and reassuring us that it'll never be the last time. They put so much thought into this whole transition process to never let us down. We've been given a strong and clear promise." And it was the video of Jungkook saying, "This is never gonna be the last time." Someone said, "Me and Namjoon sharing a sexually tense moment when I'm living my trans mask fantasy undercover in the Korean military," and it's like the Mulan. Isn't that funny? I was like, me, like, about to, like, enlist. Someone said, "Army putting this photo in heart locket, looking at it wistfully while standing next to the ocean at sunset." It's like an old picture of Taehyun. "Watching the entire world being absolutely baffled today that BTS didn't get an exemption is something else." It was like even people who weren't BTS fans were talking about it on Twitter and saying how, like, they think it's ridiculous, and, like, why would a country why would a country who's getting so much gain from this, like, not enlist them, and it was, like, on the news, like, American news, like, it was, like, such a big thing, and everyone was just baffled, like, I don't know. Someone said, I have way more than 806 pictures of BTS in my gallery. If I use a new picture as my lock screen every day, the days will go by before I know it. 806 photos is nothing." Can't wait. This one says, "Not. If Jin is going, I'm going too. See you guys in 2025. It was just really funny. Okay, this was a conversation between, like, a local and a BTS fan, Army. But this person, it said, like, Pop Crave, BTS is officially going on hiatus until 2025, and this is, like, the, like, local non-BTS fan, and he said, "Imagine my surprise when I found out why," meaning they were going to the military. And then someone in Army replied and said, I can't imagine them bald, with like that meme. And then he said, they have to shave their heads. All shocked because he obviously doesn't know that like Korean military, when they go to the military, they have to shave their heads. And this person called him by his name, saying, Zay, you think they gonna show up in the trenches with a full platinum blonde bob? Like, for real, let's be for real. It was just funny. And then someone said, people on this app are so odd. Like, how is this funny to y'all? Jimin's pretty face should not be in the front lines. So true. This one said Kim Tae-hyung entering his barack with his Gucci bag collection. That's it, I guess. Oh, you know, it's actually not because I deleted some. So, haha. We're back here. Someone said my to-do list for the next 3 years. 1, learn Korean. 2, get a hotbot. 3, save up for travel and floor seats. 4, enjoy every BTS video out there. 5, get visa, etc. for travel to Korea. 6, stream. 7, love BTS harder than I do now. Namjoon posted really soon after the announcement a post, and one of them was like an art piece, and his caption was like wonky, which is like the name of the art piece, I believe, or the artist of the art piece, and that was the last name of the artist, and the painting he posted, the name of it was, when people had like looked it up once they found it, like they had to like research, but the name of the painting was Where in What Form Shall We Meet Again? And so the caption of like the 2 screenshots of like that information, you know, was I love him a very huge, massive amount. So they performed Cypher Part 3 in front of the government officials, and so, well, I'm just gonna read the thing. It says, performing Cypher Part 3 in front of the government officials is now the sexiest thing in the whole world, because they literally said, frick you, I don't care, you can't control my stuff, and did things on their own terms, because those are the lyrics in the song. And it was like with his whole freaking chest, because it was like a fan cam of Namjoon singing it, because they like went off on that song. I don't know if you remember, because we only listened to that song like once when we listened to all the ciphers, but so they're basically saying to the government like, you can't control me, just days before they made the announcement. Someone said, okay, Lilac Lieutenants, pull yourself together, we got husbands to support. Someone said, how is the world supposed to carry on without the moon? Someone said, life of a military wife, BTS in 2025, and then the caption is me waiting for my Bangtan husbands to come back home from military service. I think it was a video, but it was like a meme. It was like sassy Jungkook. He was like waiting. Someone said, so you're telling me Bangtan themselves initiated the enlistment process after the concert, since the government couldn't decide, from 4 years now. My respect for Bangtan just tripled. Someone said June 14th has a sister now, dang. Someone said, wait, let me reword that. So South Korea wanted to wait for the concert, see the impact, and based on that, decide later. BTS did their thing, and 48 hours later, they released the statement that they'll move forward with the enlistment. Jin applied to cancel his enlistment extension and follow the procedure. I guess there's like no more. There was like a thread, but I didn't show it. Someone said, does the military know that Jin can't eat garlic and potatoes? Do they know that he gets really big bumps from mosquito bites? Do they know? Someone said, there are 156 BTS Run episodes. If you start over and watch 1 episode per week, it will feel like they are never really gone. Someone said, a shirt pic would do wonders right now. Someone said, gosh, I need to be rich by 2025. I'm not settling for non-barricade. I'm so serious. Someone said, the fact that the Gov wanted to see BTS Impact after the Busan concert and then take a decision, but the boys were one step ahead and enlist themselves instead. That's a power move. They're so freaking cool. Someone said, I think the real question is, will they be training Jungkook, or will Jungkook be training them? That's all. So I hope you weren't like incredibly bored during that. I guess that was part of me sharing my experience with it, since that was like what was happening to me right when I found out as I was looking through all of that. So I was on Twitter for like an hour or something, and so I think I cried a little bit on Twitter, but not that much, and there was some times when I was crying, and I had class at 1, and I ended up, like, when it first happened, I was like, I'm not gonna go to class, like, I can't, like, I'm not gonna go to class, but I ended up actually going, and it was, like, shocking to me that I was going, like, I was like, how am I actually going? I wore all black, and I listened to 4 Youth on repeat the entire time, the walk there and, like, in class, and it was just crazy that I went, and then I stayed in my room, and I got breakfast when I got back, and I remember it was like walking into the cafeteria, and like I felt like snot running down my nose, like, and I was wearing a mask, and I could like feel the snot, and I was like, this is like funny, like no one here knows. I remember walking through the streets, and I was looking at people, and in my head I was like, are you BTS Army? Are you Army? Because like everyone seemed so normal, and I felt like dying, like I felt like my life was like over, and so it was just weird to be walking and like walking through like crowds of people, like feel like being like I'm the only one whose life has been like ruined today. So it's just like an interesting experience knowing that like I couldn't see anybody who was experiencing the same thing as me. So then I ate in the breakfast after class. I ate breakfast in the cafeteria after class, and then I went on my bed, and then I don't even remember what I did all day. I think I was just constantly on Twitter, like going back between Twitter and Instagram, and then I was like, I just want to sleep, like I just want to forget about it, like I just want to like not, like doing what they said, if you sleep 12 hours a day, it'll be like they were only gone for 14 months, like that's what I was like, I just want to sleep, like I just want to like make this moment, I just want to stop living in this moment, but I just couldn't fall asleep, I just was thinking too much, so I just was constantly going back between Twitter and then scrolling on Instagram Reels and then checking Twitter and seeing what people were saying again. And that's kind of all I did, and just stayed in bed and sometimes just like looked at the ceiling or something. And I didn't like drink since after eating breakfast, I guess I was like finished at like 2:30. I didn't eat anything for like the rest of the day, and then at one point I called my mom, and Kaya was there the entire time. Like I was kind of wanting her to leave so that I could like cry or something. And I wanted to call my mom and tell her what had happened, but I knew if I called her I would start crying, you know? So I was like waiting for Kai to leave, but she didn't, and that was like kind of like awful. Like I was like, I just want, like, I can't even like cry in peace right now. But then at one point I just called my mom anyway, and I was like not really planning on crying at the time. I was like, I'm just gonna like talk to her normally. And so I called her, and she was like, hi, and I was like, hey, and she was like, how are you? And I paused for a really long time because I didn't even know what to say to that. Like it just like took me aback. I don't know why. But I didn't want to be like bad, but it's not like I was gonna be like fine or good. Like I just had nothing to say, and then I just started crying. Like I just started sobbing, and so I was just like crying the rest of the phone call, and I told her, and it was just so I was just like sobbing in the room, and Kaya was like also in there, and it was like funny. And then she brought me ice cream later, and it was like around, I don't know, it was like late, and I hadn't eaten since 2:30. And I hadn't drinking any water, so I like downed that like ice cream, like because I was like I hadn't eaten anything or drank it in so long, so I was like dehydrated and hungry, so I just like ate it so much, and I was like, it was like funny, like it was like that was all, like I had breakfast and then I had ice cream, and that was all I had that day. And when I'm sad, like I like stay eating, like I'm not the type to like not eat when I'm sad, like I'm the type to like eat when I'm sad, like not even like overeat, like it's just like I just eat when I'm hungry, but I just like couldn't that day, couldn't do anything. And then the next day I set my alarm for later because I just like wasn't gonna go to my 7 a.m. class. Like after all that happened, like I just like there was no way. So I skipped my morning class but I went to my other classes. So I did skip one class because of it, basically. Yeah. I guess I haven't still really, it's funny this is so long. I still haven't really talked about like I re-listened to your recordings from, I'll just message you this, never mind. That night at 2:04 a.m. after the announcement, I wrote this little note because I couldn't go to sleep. So I just wrote out some of my thoughts real quick. I remember when the announcement happened, I sleep with my phone on Do Not Disturb. And I kept my phone on Do Not Disturb the rest of the day because I just couldn't turn it on and I didn't want to hear from anyone. And after I found out, I remember I messaged Emily and I was like, BTS like announced they're going to the military. And I'm just letting you know because my phone's going to be on Do Not Disturb all day and I'm probably not going to reply to anything you say. So yeah, but I wrote this note out because I was like so mad. I could not go to sleep. But this is probably not like all my thoughts about it, but I was just gonna read it because this is just my thoughts at the time. I said, I'm so freaking tired because all of ARMY Twitter is like, just trust BTS, and whether it's 3 years or 7, I'll wait for them. BTS ARMY forever. Like, okay, good for you, pal. Like, I also trust BTS and will wait for them these 3 years and would wait for them for a lifetime. Like, I love them more than myself. They're literally people worth waiting lifetimes for. So if they're that special, why are you guys acting like it's okay they'll be gone for so long? Because I, for one, am not going to be okay for those 3 years. Like them being like, OMG, I'm so motivated to be a better person now. Like, good for you. I couldn't get out of bed or drink any water, and I have midterms and essays this week. But what makes me the most mad is people acting like time is just gonna fly with them gone. Like, I literally saw one tweet that said 2023 was yesterday, 2024 is today, and 2025 is tomorrow. It won't be long, ARMY. And it was like unironic, and I was like, bro, it's not even 2023. Shut up. Like, I guarantee the whole lot of y'all haven't been waiting. I guarantee the whole lot of y'all haven't been waiting for your best friend to come back for a year because trust me, it doesn't freaking fly by. You feel their absence every single day, and there's nothing that can replace that absent time. And she's only been gone for a little over a year, like 3 freaking years. Come on now, acting like it's almost next year, so it's basically 2 years. So basically just the amount of time COVID's been. I don't even remember life before COVID. I feel like my whole life has been COVID. Like the last 2 years have been my whole life. You're telling me I have to go through till my senior year in college without BTS. So I guess I kind of said it. I don't know if the feminine urge to like always over explain myself because I'm like, I don't even know if that made sense. But basically, like, it just annoyed me that people like were being overwhelmingly positive, like yeah, I trust BTS and like I'll wait for them like however long, and it was just like so will I. Like that doesn't make you special. Like it makes BTS special. Like they're the ones who we're all willing to wait for. Like I'd wait like my whole life for them. That just means like if they're so like special that we're willing to wait our whole lives for them, like they're special enough that they're the type of people like I don't want to live a second without. Like, and like like everyone was just saying how it's gonna fly by, and I realized they were just like being positive, and like I'm sure that was like helpful for other people, but like I just kept thinking like I like feel like I've been waiting for people like my whole life, and I'm just kind of like tired of it. Like since before I can even like really remember, like I've been waiting for my dad to come back, and like obviously that like hasn't happened, probably won't. And then like and I've been waiting for you to come back, and like now BTS, and like I'll be waiting for BTS to come back before you come back, and I'll be waiting for BTS to come back after you come back, and it's just like it just felt really annoying to me, people acting like 3 years is gonna go by so fast when like a little over a year without you, like it hasn't gone by fast. Like it was just like you guys don't even know. Like clearly you don't know what it's like to wait for someone if you think it's gonna go by fast. Like I know what it's like to wait for someone and it doesn't go by fast. So it was just frustrating. Like I don't know. But so yeah, that was like that's like the other thing is like it was also really hard because like I don't know. And originally I felt like I like when I was imagining talking about this to you, I was gonna say like how like I'm sure it would also be hard for you being like I know I'm waiting for you, but like you've also been like gone from people, so it's not like it's just me waiting for you. Like I realize you're the one I'm waiting on, but in a sense you're waiting for me too, you know? Like waiting to come back, so I like didn't want to make it seem as if it's just me waiting, you know? And like I'm sure it would still be difficult for you too, but I guess you were like kind of chill with it, which is fine. I don't know. I guess I feel like I don't really have anything to say. Isn't that funny? Like I feel like I didn't really talk about me that much. Maybe I'm just tired. It's just but I guess that is it, you know? Like what else am I gonna do? I guess it's just a little unbelievable. And it honestly, like, even now, like, it's still, like, maybe earlier when I was crying about it, it, like, hit me, but even now, like, it doesn't, it, like, I keep forgetting. Like, that little pause, like, I forgot again. Like, it didn't feel real again. Like, Jin hasn't even left yet. Like, I've cried already over it, but it hasn't even happened yet. And it's like Jin's gonna be gone for at least a year and a half to 2 years, and like the year and a half is like how long you'll be gone, but I'll have to do that like 7 times, like for each member, you know, like I can't even like I can't even bring myself to think about it. Like Jin's gonna be gone, and then like but it's gonna happen with each member, like I'm gonna have to have like 7 countdowns on my phone. Like, like I can't even like my brain like can't comprehend it like ever. Like every like I've like it's like I've been living in denial like this whole time because like I keep forgetting and I keep not thinking it's real. And it's just so like unimaginable to live like without them. Like I don't know. Like I remember when the announcement first happened, I didn't actually think this would happen, but part of me still hoped like somehow the government would be like, wait, like don't go, like we'll exempt all of you right now, like don't go. And that clearly didn't happen. Anyways, Jin released, he didn't actually do an album, it was a single, just one song. But it was like, you know how Coldplay and BTS collaborated and did the My Universe song? And you know how like armies like don't really tend to trust like other celebrities because like they like will use BTS a lot of times and like a lot of it's like not authentic and things like that. Well, the Coldplay collaboration was just really special, and like you could tell because I guess a lot of people were already like fans of Coldplay, or at least like Coldplay was like really respected as like honest and like true to their craft type of artists. And so people were like really glad for the collab. Oh, and because BTS covered Fix You, Coldplay's song, you know, and they had like looked up to Coldplay and things like that. So it was a really special collaboration, and like there's like videos of them together, and you could tell it was just like two groups of people that just loved making music, you know, and weren't letting like language or anything like stop them. Like they were just making music they loved together. And so there's something really special about the BTS and Coldplay collaboration. And the song with Jin was like co-written by like Jin and Coldplay, or like Coldplay like gave him the song or something, and like they worked on it. And I think like there's like some background vocals of Coldplay in it. And so it was really meaningful. And like Chris, a member of Coldplay, gave Jin his guitar, and like so it was like a meaningful collab. And the song was called Astronaut. And it was basically like, cause like how Jin was like the moon and BTS is like army, you know. I mean, I mean, the Earth is army, and Jin is the moon. So the song was kind of like astronaut, like he's gonna leave to go away for a little bit, but he'll eventually come back to Earth. So it was kind of like a goodbye, but like I'll see you soon type of song. And it's like such a pretty song, like it's like so pretty. And um it's funny because like I can't think of a single lyric right now. Actually, I can think of one, but like I know if I like was listening to it, I think I'm also like my brain's like dead. Oh, one of the lyrics, it's like, when I'm with you, there's no one else. When I'm with you, there's no one else. I get heaven all to myself. And it's like Korean in too, and he says like I love you and like all these things, and it's just like a really sweet song. I was crying when I was like watching the music video. Me just like crying over BTS like a lot lately. But yeah, so because he released his album already, I mean his single, his solo work, he's leaving soon, but we don't have any exact dates. That's like another thing that's hard about it for me, is not having the exact dates, because people are counting down on Twitter, like counting down until 2025, like the year 2025 begins, but I don't think they're going to be back January 1st, 2025. Some people are counting back to June 13th, 2025, thinking they might be like together by then. And like Big Hit can't give an exact date because they don't know, because it depends on each member's like schedule and when they're like deciding they're gonna leave. But that's like really hard about it, is not having an exact date, because like I can't even like start a countdown on my phone. Like I don't even know when they're leaving or when they're coming back. I don't know. It just it just hurts, I guess. Like, it's just so far away. And I guess it feels like I'm the only one who knows what it feels like to wait 18 years. Months. It feels like I'm the only one who knows what it feels like to wait 18 months for the person you care about most in the world. And like, the fact that it has to happen 7 times for 7 different people, for 8 different people, like, I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of waiting, and I know it's not gonna go by fast. I guess I'm glad though that they're not going all at the same time and that there will be a member to be with us the whole time. Even though it makes it longer, I feel like it's a little more bearable that way. I don't know. When I was watching the Festa live where they were announcing their like break or whatever, I kept thinking, or not kept thinking, but like it just like occurred to me, and like I've already, like it's like I already knew this, and it's not like it was new information, but it suddenly occurred to me like BTS, like if I wasn't a BTS fan, if I never became a BTS fan, like I don't even know where I would be right now. Like I'm in college, like studying Korean, like because of them, like not like because of them, like not like I want to understand BTS, so that's why my major is like this, but like they exposed me to a language that I love to learn. And if I never like became their fan, like I have no idea what I would be doing right now. Like there's like nothing else I want to do right now. And like after like that traumatic, like after my traumatic sophomore year and like being traumatized from theater, and that's like what I wanted to do. Like I felt so empty when COVID first started, and like no longer being in theater and no longer wanting to be in theater because I had spent the last 4 years of my life defining myself as like the theater girl, like wants to be an actress, like the last 4 years, and like having that all ruined for me, like I felt like so empty, and like BTS like filled that, and like I was able to like be passionate about Korean and like learning Korean and like standing BTS, and it was like the theater thing like didn't hurt anymore, like it didn't feel empty anymore. And it's like, so I was watching that video and it was just like occurred to me again, like if I wasn't a BTS fan, like I don't even know what I would be doing with my life right now. Like I have no idea. Like I don't even know like who I would be or what I would be like. Like I feel like I would have no interests. Nothing like I love in life. And like I realized we were friends before BTS, and like we would still be friends, and like we've always loved each other. But it's still kind of like, and like our friendship isn't just BTS. but it kind of like after COVID and like not seeing each other as much, like rekindled, I guess, in a way. Maybe not even that, maybe that's a little dramatic, but just like brought us closer, I guess. So even like with that, like if that never happened, like even like what would our relationship be like, you know? Like I just feel like I just have no idea what it would be like without them. Like when I was thinking that, I was like, man, like time to get the 7 tattoo right now. I don't know. I keep forgetting. I feel like I forget again. I forgot again. But I'm not gonna remind myself. I'm not gonna think about it. That's just how I've been living. I just keep not thinking about it. Anyways, I feel like I have nothing else to say. There's just nothing else in me. I'm like, was a 2-hour long video really necessary for me to explain this all? I feel like no. I feel like this could have been done in like 2 minutes. I'm like, was this necessary at all? I feel like no. But basically, BTS is gonna come back one day. They made jokes during the concert about like they want to do this for a long time. Like they want to be BTS for a long time. They want to perform for a long time. Like one of the members made a joke about like being 70-year-old Bangtan, and like they were like pretending to be like on a cane and like speaking in an old voice. I think it was Jungkook, but I'm not sure. It was funny. Yeah. So they'll like I know they'll come back, and I trust them, and even if they never, I was thinking this when I was watching the video. I was thinking like even if they never came back, like they went to the army and they decided they didn't want to perform anymore, they didn't want to be BTS anymore, and they didn't even post on Instagram anymore, and they like deleted their Instagram, dropped off the face of the earth, I would still love them like for the rest of my life, you know? But still I trust them, and I know that they love us, and in the festa, like especially Jimin, but like they all were like holding this sentiment like they can't talk about BTS or BTS's future without ARMY. Like the two topics are inseparable. So I trust them, and I love them, and I know they love us, and I know they're coming back, and they'll be together again one day. Anyways, I don't know if this communicated anything at all. Like if you understand anything more than you did before this started, who knows? Or if you like, I don't know, when I talked in the beginning when I was like, I want to like express myself, I don't know if I did at all, but I don't know. I hope you don't feel too different about everything than you did in the beginning when you first heard from your dad. I guess that's just what it's like for me. I don't know. I just really have been kind of not thinking about it. And I'm just too tired to think about it now. I'm just gonna stop thinking about it. It just doesn't feel real again. Anyways, sorry about this 2-hour long video. Sorry that it just went on for so long. I feel like I communicated nothing. Like, I feel like I just didn't even say what, like, I don't know. I'm just gonna stop talking. I'm thinking, yeah. I hope that, I don't know.